Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ziyad. Welcome to the AAPC CPC mock exam 2. In this mock exam, we will go through all 100 multiple choice questions organized by chapter, just like the real CPC exam. I will explain you how to find the answers easily and quickly. So make sure to subscribe my channel and check out my playlist. Chapter 4 Coding Guidelines. There are 7 MCQs. Question number 1. When should a coder use a combination code in ICD 10 to report a condition and its manifestation? A. Use only for external causes. B. When a combination code exists. C. After using the exclusion instructions. D. For separate code applicability. Think the answer. The correct answer is B. When a combination code exists. The ICD-10 official guidelines for coding and reporting state that multiple codes should not be used when a single combination code can be used to describe a condition and its manifestation. A combination code is a single code that classifies two diagnoses, a diagnosis with an associated secondary process, that is manifestation, or a diagnosis with an associated complication. So, for example, a patient with type 2 diabetes mellitus is seen for a diabetic polyneuropathy. So, here the condition is the type 2 diabetes mellitus and the manifestation is the diabetic polyneuropathy. So, we don't need to code both conditions separately because there's a combination code, that is E1142 is type 2 diabetes mellitus with diabetic polyneuropathy. So, we can use this combination code for both conditions. Question number 2. What does a parenthetical C instruction signal the coder to do in a ICD-10 codebook? A. Sequence principal diagnosis first. B. Consult alternative code entries. C. Review diagnostic test codes. D. Apply general coding guidelines. Think the answer. So correct answer is B. Consult alternative code entries. ICD-10 alphabetic index. A parenthetical C instruction is a cross-reference that directs the coder to another term or a different location in the index to find the correct code. It's a crucial tool for navigation when the initial term you look up doesn't have the code directly associated with it, or when the initial term is not the most specific or the appropriate one. For example, when you search for the pathological fracture, you can go to the fracture pathological. So within bracket it says see also fracture traumatic. So again we have to go to the fracture, then traumatic, you can find the correct code. Question number 3. When a CPT code has the words separate procedure in the parentheses after code description, you A. Do not use this code if it is listed as the separate procedure. B. Code for all other elements of the procedure except this one. C. Only code for this procedure if it was the only thing performed. D. Code for this procedure even was not performed. So think the answer. So here correct answer is C. Only code for this procedure if it was the only thing performed. So in CPT coding, when a procedure is labeled as separate procedure, noted in the parenthesis after the code description, it means the procedure is usually included as a part of a more extensive related procedure and is not reported separately when performed as a component of another procedure. However, if the separate procedure was performed independently, that is, not as a part of a more comprehensive or related procedure, then it may be coded and reported. So I'll show you an example. So here you can see the code 45300 is proctosigmoidoscopy, rigid, diagnostic with or without collection of specimens by brushing or washing. So within bracket it says separate procedure. If it is performed during a larger colorectal procedure, you no need to report it separately because the procedure itself will contain this part. But you have to report it if done independently to investigate rectal bleeding. So proctosigmoidoscopy done independently, you can use this code. If it is done with the major procedure, you have to use the major procedures code, not this separate code. Question number 4. Which global period applies to major surgical procedures under the CMS Global Surgery Package, including post-operative follow-up care? So there are 4 answers. First one is 0-day global period, B 10-day global period, C 30-day global period, D 90-day global period. So think the answer. The correct answer is D 90-day global period. So under the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Global Surgery Package, surgical procedures are categorized by their global periods, which define the time frame of services included in a single payment for the surgery. So the 90-day global period, that is for major procedures, this is the period assigned to major surgical procedures. Payment for the surgery includes all the routine pre-operative, intraoperative, and post-operative care provided by the surgeon and their group for 90 days following the surgery. This period typically includes one pre-operative visit the day before the surgery or on the day of the surgery, and the 90 days after the procedure. All follow-up visits related to the surgery within this 90-day period are bundled into a single surgical fee and cannot be billed separately. Similarly, the zero-day global period applies to certain minor procedures such as endoscopies and includes only the services performed on the same day as the procedure. 10-day global period applies to most other minor procedures and includes the day of the procedure and the 10 days immediately following it. Question number 5. For significantly more complex procedure than typical, what CPT modifier should be appended? So there are 4 answers: 51, 57, 22, and 54. So find the answer. So here the procedure is complex, so it needs more time and more effort. When you see the CPT modifiers in the back side of the front cover, you can go through all the codes. So code 24.2 is increased procedural services, 51 for multiple procedures, 54 for surgical care only, 57 for decision for surgery. So in this case, the correct answer is C22, that is increased procedural services. Question number 6. Which CPT category contains temporary codes for emerging technologies and procedures under evaluation? A. Category 1, B. Category 2, C. Category 3, D. HPCS level 2. Think the answer. So the correct answer is C. Category 3. So category 3 CPT codes are provisional entries for emerging technologies, procedures, and services under review. Category 1 covers the standard services. Category 2 is for performance tracking. HPCS level 2 covers services, supplies, drugs, and equipment not found in the CPT code set. Question number 7. How should the CPC proceed during a coding condition that is described as both acute and chronic? A. Only code the acute condition. B. Only code the chronic condition. C. Code both conditions. D. Exclude coding as both conditions are mutually exclusive. Think the answer. So here the correct answer is code both conditions. So that is answer C. When a condition is documented as both acute, that is sudden onset or short duration, and chronic, that is long term or persistent, it means the patient is experiencing an exacerbation of their pre-existing chronic condition. According to the ICD 10-CM official guidelines for the coding and reporting, both the acute and chronic conditions should be coded. So there are 7 questions appear in the coding guidelines. So this is the bonus question. Which HPCS level 2 modifier indicates that documentation requirements for therapy services have been met under Medicare Part B? A. Use RR modifier. B. Use NU modifier. C. Use KX modifier. D. Use LT modifier. So you have to take HPCS level 2 code book. On the second page, you will find this modifier. So please find the answer and give your answer in the comment section. So please subscribe my channel and check my other playlist as well. Thank you.